This is the fourth file in my Submissive training series. And in this file, we're going to work to create a very strong orgasm through hypnosis. All you have to do is just sit back, relax, and listen to my voice. I want you to get as comfortable as you can in your seat. It doesn't matter if you're lying down or sitting. Make sure that your arms and hands aren't crossed. And I want you just to listen along to my voice and begin to let yourself relax. And just to hear that word, relax, to focus on it, notice how warm and relaxed you begin to feel. And that's how easy it is to relax. Just listening along to my voice and letting yourself drift a little deeper into this warm, relaxing place. And what I want you to do is I want you to focus on the spiral in front of you. Focus all your attention on that spiral. And I want you to focus on the center of that spiral. And I want you to watch it as if it's your entire world. Focus all your attention on that center. And as you watch it turn around and around, I want you to notice a heaviness beginning to grow in your body, in your mind. That relaxation is beginning to grow and spread. You can feel it in your chest, in your lungs, and you can feel this heaviness in your head, in your neck. And especially I want you to feel that heaviness in your eyelids and your eyes. And as you watch that spiral, you can feel that heaviness begin to grow in those eyelids, as if with each turn of that spiral they grow heavier and heavier, almost as if they wanted to close down. And a part of you already knows that once they close down, you'll be able to relax so much more completely. When you can let them close down, you'll be able to really drift even further into this warm, relaxing feeling. And in a moment, I'll count from 3 to 1. And when I reach the number 1, I want you to close your eyes all the way down. And when you do, I want you to imagine yourself really relaxing and drifting down, really sinking with this warm, wonderful feeling. I'll start with the number 3, and already you can feel that heaviness wash over you, and you feel it in your eyes, and you feel that heaviness grow with the number 2. Already you feel that wash over you, that heaviness in your eyes. And on that next number, I want you to close them all the way down. 3, 2, and 1. Close your eyes all the way down and feel that relaxation settle and wash over you. And with your eyes closed down, I want you to imagine your body and mind sort of floating down, as if beneath you is nothing at all but an emptiness, a place of relaxation. And I want you, anytime your eyes are closed down, to just drift and sink with this warm, heavy feeling. Let it wash over you and pull you further and further down into that warm heaviness. And in a moment, I'm going to have you open those eyes again. And when I count from 3 to 1, when I reach that number 1, you'll close your eyes down again. And this time when you close them down, you'll feel yourself drift so much further, so much deeper, as if to close them down again. That feeling grows. That wonderful relaxation grows so much stronger. Now I want you to slowly open those eyes again. And I want you to really focus again on that spiral in front of you. Look to its center and feel yourself get lost in the turning spiral, as if each turn makes those eyes feel so much heavier again. And it's becoming so hard to keep those eyes open. Looking at the center of that spiral, you feel them wanting to close down. And as I count from 3 to 1, close them all the way and drift so much deeper into that warm relaxation. 3, feel that heaviness in those eyelids. Already they want to close all the way down. And you feel that grow with the number 2, heavier and heavier, ready to close them down on that next number. 3, 2, and 1. Close your eyes down and feel that heaviness wash right over you. So warm and relaxed. With your eyes closed, you can feel yourself just drifting and sinking, as if there's nothing at all beneath you. You can imagine yourself just drifting down, floating, sinking with this warm, heavy feeling. And I want you to imagine that beneath you is a big room, a big empty room with no floor, sort of like a vertical hallway. And you're going to let yourself drift further and further through that room as I help you relax more and more, as if that room beneath you is a place to escape, a place of pure relaxation. And we want you to let your mind and body completely disconnect. And we want your mind to drift down into that room while your body just relaxes and drifts. And to help you drift into that room, I'm going to count from 10 all the way down to the number 1. And each number is going to symbolize you drifting further into that empty room beneath you. And with each number, you're going to become so much more relaxed. The further you go into that room, the more you feel that heaviness, that wonderful warm drowsiness wash over you. And the further you disconnect from your body, the further you let your mind go, the more that relaxation is going to build. I'll start with the number 10. Imagine your mind kind of leaving your body. And you can imagine your mind much like your body, except you notice it's sort of transparent. And with that number 10, imagine that transparent version of yourself that holds all of your mind beginning to lift out of your body. And you can imagine it floating down into that empty room. And it sort of feels like that mind is floating so easily, so gently down into that wonderful room of peace and comfort. And you feel yourself drift a little deeper down with the number 9. Heavier and heavier, that warmth, that relaxation washes over you like a wave of peace. And that wave washes you further down into that room, allowing you to disconnect from that body, allowing your mind to just drift and sink further and further down. And again, you feel your mind just completely let go with the number 8. So warm and heavy as that number washes over you, as you imagine your mind just drifting further through that empty hallway, that empty room beneath you, that place of pure relaxation, that wonderful escape for you. Imagine yourself drifting down, and you really feel the weight as you reach the number 7. Feel the weight of that number wash over you, taking you deeper and deeper, so warm and relaxed as you imagine your mind just drifting through that room, going further and further, and you feel it with the number 6, so warm and heavy, floating through that empty room so easily. Notice how nice it feels to relax, to fully let yourself experience the peace of that empty room, and you feel that peace wash over you with the number 5, heavier and heavier as you just float further and further down, deeper and deeper. Your mind so far from your body as it just floats through that room so happily, so peacefully, and you feel yourself go so much further down with the number 4, sinking and drifting, floating down through that empty space. And you feel that weight growing more and more with each number. Again, you feel it with the number 3. Feel the weight of that number wash over you. It sort of pulls you down through that room, further and further, as you so peacefully float down to the number 2. And on that next number, you're going to relax fully into this warm, relaxing room. In fact, I want you to imagine there are still strings attached to your body and mind, strings that keep them tied together. And when I reach the number 1, imagine all those strings have been cut, and you can fully let your mind just swim and sink and float in this wonderful empty room of relaxation. On the number 1, you can let those strings completely cut. 3, drifting down. 2, sinking further and further. And 1, imagine those strings have been cut, and notice how easily you float through that room of relaxation, that room of peace. And you notice with those strings cut, even these words seem to wash over you. You notice how hard it becomes to focus on the individual words. Because you don't have to listen to me. Your subconscious mind knows how to listen. It hears everything it needs to. All your mind has to do is just float and relax in that empty room. Drift further and further down, and you can just let these words wash over you, losing the meaning of these words, but your mind still feels them. It still feels a relaxation that emanates from these words, the way it washes over you over and over again, taking you further and further into that empty room, that place of escape, a place where nothing can reach you but this wonderful relaxation. And it's so easy just to let these words drift off and just to feel their meaning, feel their weight as they take you further and further down. Knowing your subconscious mind knows how to listen to everything it needs to. All you have to do is just drift and sink and float to feel the weight of these words take you further under, to take you further into that room of peace, of comfort, so warm and relaxed. And in that room, you're going to find your mind has an incredible imagination, far more capable than it usually is. And what I want your mind to imagine in that room is that suddenly your body is there with you in the room, but it's as if you're standing outside of your body, as if your mind still feels that disconnect, and you're actually looking down at your body. And notice how relaxed she looks, how wonderfully happy and calm she looks in this warm, relaxed place. And just to see yourself in that relaxed state, you can feel yourself drift a little further down, a little deeper. And as you look at yourself in this relaxed state, I want you to notice around her neck is a leather collar. And that collar symbolizes your connection to this voice. And just to focus on it, notice how warm that collar feels around your neck. Your mind can still feel the sensations of that body. And you can feel the warmth and a sort of tingly pleasure beginning to emanate from that collar around your neck. As if it's emanating a warmth, a soothing feeling that spreads through your neck. And this helps symbolizes a connection between us and the pleasure this connection brings you. And you can feel that growing as you focus on that collar. And you can feel the sense of submission, this warmth towards this voice. You can feel that affection growing in you, that wonderful feeling of wearing that collar, knowing what it symbolizes. And you almost imagine a smile coming across your body's face, knowing she's wearing her collar, knowing she's more close to this voice, closer to that submissive feeling in her chest, that part of her she desires to bring out more and more. And you feel the warmth from that collar beginning to spread out, spread up into your head, moving down into your lungs and your chest. You can feel it in your breasts, in your nipples. You can feel it move down across your stomach. You can feel it in your waist, between your legs, all through your legs, all the way down to your feet and your toes. Your whole body vibrating with a warmth, with a pleasure, with a new sensitivity. And as you look down at your body, you can feel the pleasure beginning to move her. You can feel the pleasure beginning to arouse her. And you notice how closer that brings you to this voice. How much closer it brings you to that submission, that dedication to this voice. Feel it growing as that pleasure begins to stir through your body, building more and more, as if from that collar, a pleasure is beginning to move through your body, a pulse, a vibration beginning to build. Feel it beginning to move and rock your body up and down. And it's as if as that pleasure builds, so does your connection to this voice. And you can feel that vibration moving and picking up, growing stronger and stronger. And as it does, you feel this sense of submission, this desire to please this voice, to submit to this voice. You feel that growing and building in your mind, that pleasure building in your body. You feel it growing building from that collar and spreading out through your body, that wonderful sense of pleasure, that arousal in your body. And while that pleasure seems to come from that collar, from your submission to this voice and the pleasure it brings, I want you to settle that pleasure between your legs. I want you to imagine all of that pleasure begins to build right in that spot between your legs. And it's as if it sits there and builds, ready to release from that spot. And until you're told to release that pleasure, it just sits and builds between your legs, building more and more. That's right. And I want you to feel that pleasure building more, as if suddenly the vibration from that collar begins to pick up so strongly, and you can feel that vibration moving through your body, growing stronger and stronger. You feel that vibration, that sensitivity in your nipples, as if just to feel this pleasure, it stimulates those nipples so incredibly. And you feel this pleasure especially in that spot between your legs. You feel it move up and down across those lips. You can even feel it begin to grow inside of you, building and growing, that ball of energy between your legs, that desire to release that energy when you're told to let it all go and feel that incredible release. You feel that desire, much like a desire to submit to this voice growing inside you. And you know once you release that pleasure, you'll be left with this wonderful feeling of completeness and this wonderful sense of closeness to this voice, this source of submission. And just to hear that, feel that tremble through your body, that pleasure, as if just to know when you release it, you'll become closer to this voice. It builds between your legs even stronger. That pulse, that rhythm growing in your body, so primal, your desire to let it all out, to become one with this voice, to become closer and feel that submission even stronger. And I'm going to count from 10 all the way down to the number 1. And that countdown is going to symbolize a building of that pleasure. Each number, I want you to imagine that pleasure moving and growing inside you, building between your legs, and that desire to let it all out growing with that building pleasure. And when I reach the number 1, you're going to let all of that pleasure go from that spot between your legs. You'll let it all out, an incredible release, an incredible orgasm created just from this voice, from your submission, from this wonderful hypnotic place. When I reach that number 1, you're going to let all of that out. You're going to feel that orgasm. And as it subsides, you'll be left with nothing but this wonderful sense of completeness, this closeness to this voice. I'm going to start with the number 10. Feel that beginning to build already. Feel that beginning to build already, that rhythm growing, that pleasure sitting between your legs ready to release. And again, you feel that pleasure grow with the number 9. Feel it building, that pulse beginning to pick up, that desire to let it all go, as if you're sitting on the edge, just ready to let it go already. And again, it builds with the number 8. You can feel it moving up and down between your legs, a rhythm of vibration building in your mind and your body. And again, you feel yourself move down with the number 7, that pleasure growing and building, that desire to submit, that closeness with this voice building in your mind, and you feel that rhythm grow with the number 6. You feel that pleasure, that ball of energy just sitting ready to release between your legs. You feel it grow and build again with the number 5. You feel this orgasm welling up inside you, welling up between your legs, and you feel so ready to let that go. You feel it move closer to the edge with the number 4. Feel yourself so ready to let that go, all the pleasure welling up between your legs, all the pleasure from that collar moving down, down and ready to release. And you feel yourself move so close to that release with the number 3. You can feel a sense of joy, of pleasure, of excitement, just ready to release. And you feel yourself move right to the edge with the number 2. And on that next number, you're going to let it all go and feel that full orgasm. Feel yourself so ready and on the edge. Number 3, building. Number 2, ready to let that go. And number 1, release that pleasure. Release it all and feel that orgasm move through your body. Imagine that pleasure between your legs just completely releasing, completely letting go. That's right. Just feel the pleasure move through you so easily, as if that collar is just draining, emptying. And you notice all that's left is just this closeness, this affection between us, this completeness, as if we are just one, connected through this wonderful place, connected through that collar around your neck and the pleasure it brings you. That's right. And in a moment, I'm going to wake you to let you fully enjoy that wonderful sense of completeness, that wonderful sense of fulfillment, knowing that you're closer than ever to this voice, closer to this sense of submission inside you. As I count from 5 to 1, I want you to slowly let yourself wake from this trance. And as you wake, you're going to feel that wonderful sense of completeness grow, as if as you wake, you feel a joy, a sense of happiness growing, so that when I reach the number 1 and you wake with such a sense of fulfillment, of happiness, of desire to please your master more and more. As I count from 5 to 1, feel yourself slowly waking, filled with that wonderful feeling of goodness. 5, 4, becoming more alert. 3, your eyes beginning to open. 2, and 1, eyes open.